Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D, 1/3 of the podcast GFT Radio Show.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles from the GFT Radio Show. Just letting you know you can catch us every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
And to get some merch, I got some on right now. Go to teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio.
Grown Folk Talk Radio. Join the conversation. Let's have some fun. Holla at us.
What up, though? What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Welcome to the show. It is September 28th, 2020. Welcome to GFT Radio Show. Guys, you want to say hello?
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D.
Go ahead, son.
Oh, I already said hey.
I think Clint might still be having some.
Short to the point. What's going on, good people? What's going on, good people? This your boy Clint, you know what I mean, Smooth. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. We can hear you fine. You're a little delayed.
Okay, now the problem was I couldn't hear y'all at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I hear y'all fine now. I hear y'all fine.
Yeah. Yep. So, welcome to the show. It is a Monday as usual. You know how we do it. We do I forgot to change that banner. I changed all the other banners
except for that one. Look at Willie.
I'm trying.
By the way,
I was up all night. Mind you, I was up all night working on getting Twitch together. Welcome to the Twitch family. We are now live on twitch.tv/GFT radio, and I'll be changing the overlay probably sometime this weekend. It was one last thing I just couldn't get to. It was just so much work I'm working on, but yeah, I got our Twitch TV set up. So welcome to the Twitch viewers.
Hey guys. Welcome to the fold. This is crazy.
Yes. I think we're like 220 episodes in. So
yeah. If you missed it, catch up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, right. You can always catch up. We're everywhere. So definitely check us out on demand 24/7. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Blog Talk Radio, or watch video replays on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So we will be everywhere for real now.
Welcome back.
As always, merchandise. Make sure y'all get merchandise.
Hey.
Merchandise, t-shirts, masks. Oh yeah, I got the mask. I made sure I have my mask this time.
Oh, I had my mask on this week.
Yeah, I've been wearing my mask. So
my hoodie on.
Oh yeah, hoodies, because it's getting cold. Definitely gotta have your hoodies. So definitely get that at teespring.com/storage/GFT radio. Support us while we support you. So tonight we are doing a men reveals, and we are going to be talking about once again we're talking about dating and advice that men have given.
Clint coming through.
all the merchandise, yes. No doubt. So definitely going to be talking about the men reveals. We're going to be doing more dating advice and just discussing some of the advice that we found on this Instagram thread, which actually was a Twitter thread, and like what we feel about it. See what Sunny thinks, see what the audience thinks. Definitely comment. Throw your own advice out there. We can discuss it, and let's have some fun tonight. Let's have some fun. So looks like we got Dame on. Oh, Dame looks like he's.
No, I'm here. I'm driving from work.
Oh, okay. No doubt.
Yeah, I'm pulling a U move.
Okay. No doubt. All right. Well, welcome. And
hey, Dame.
All right.
Hey, Queen.
Let me pull up
Sunny.
the.
Mr. Clint. King Clint.
Yeah, right. We got them back.
Yes, welcome back. You were missed.
All 3.5 of us are back. I want to count as half of past members.
You know what?
No doubt. All right. So I know last time we talked about a bunch of different items, and should we do a quick recap of what we already talked about? I think we should.
Yeah, I guess we can. I guess we can. But like, you gonna ask me to remember that far back?
Right. Yeah. I remember where we left off, so I'm going to run it back to the beginning just so we can just quickly let the folks know where we left off.
Oh, yeah.
Get rid of this banner. Throw the ticker up there instead. So yeah. So you know we were talking about men giving advice to the ladies. Unfortunately, when they asked this question, they did one for the ladies and one for the guys. So they asked men to give advice to the ladies. They asked ladies to give advice to the guys on dating. And they said that the ladies didn't really come up with great tips or anything. So they basically just put this one out. There's a few really
got good
really
tips. Who the hell said that?
Huh?
Who the hell said we don't got good tips?
Well, for in this particular poll, when they put this question out there, they didn't get a lot of good responses from the ladies. So you know, definitely we're open ears, you know, if you got some tips for us. So but yeah, so going on, we already talked about yes, keep your girlfriends out of your business. We talked about that one. That's a huge one. I think we all agreed. And keep not only your girlfriends, your boyfriends, your family, your friends, everybody, keep them all out your business. Definitely, I think we all agreed on that. Never compare your relationships to social media highlights. I think we touched on that a lot during that conversation. So make sure y'all check out the show. I think that was on the 14th that we did that show, September 14th. It's on Google. It's on Google Play Music as well, but it's on YouTube and Facebook Live. So definitely check those replays out. Setting boundaries, expectations, paying attention to your senses, recognizing when there may be issues, when there may be red flags. Definitely pay attention to those. Asking, what was it? I'm too busy. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Feeling
I'm not near my phone.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm not near my phone. Yes, we talked about not being near the phone because everybody's near their phone nowadays. The conditioning you for abuse. We talked about that. I think we touched on the gaslighting, narcissism a lot.
Oh yeah.
That a lot. So we definitely hit a bunch of good ones. This is one I think we were split on. I didn't agree with this one too much.
Leave after the first fuck up because they knew better.
Yeah. I felt like you got to give people chances. There's certain situations you may want to be out of there. Somebody's beating on you or somebody's like really, did something out cold crazy to you. Definitely make your exit, but
But baby, I can change.
Right. But every issue doesn't have to result in breaking up. Let's see. Okay, here we go. I think
I don't think we touched that one.
I don't think we touched these. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna start here. So so again, definitely if you have any comments, if you have any tips of your own, definitely throw them in the comments. We'll be popping them up on the screen. So anybody that's new here, that's how we do that here.
If you got questions, we'll answer them.
Yes, definitely. If you got questions, we will definitely be answering them. Actually, I got to bring Clint back into the screen. All right. So first things first. For some reason, I can see Clint, but I can't see him on the screen. Can you see Clint?
Yeah, I can see him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't, but I'm not supposed to because I'm driving. So
yeah. You pay attention to the road. All right. So. Believe a man if he acts like he doesn't want you. So I know where this is going, and I definitely agree that if you have these not inklings, a lot of times it's blatant in your face. Some people play that game, I think, when they're young, but
act like they don't want you, but they really do.
Yeah, exactly. But
when they're young.
When you're 25, 35, 45, definitely don't play that game.
Too old to be playing that game means get the fuck in the game or get the fuck out.
Exactly.
There's only one loser in that game. You.
Yeah, right. No doubt. No doubt. So yeah, definitely agree that that's not the game to be played. That's not the tactic to use. So the next one says, if a man says he's not looking for a relationship, giving him pussy will not change his mind. That's a good one. That's a really big one. I think we do see that between trying to make a relationship happen or trying to fix a relationship. You see that a lot. You know, women trying to fix relationships with sex. I mean, I don't think it really works on the other way around. I've never really seen a guy kind of pull that off and a woman like, oh, everything's all right now that you've given me some dick, So, but
maybe going to butt, maybe that might change your mind, but I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know about. I'm just saying. That might make me think about it. Like maybe I don't know.
We need that Sunny banner right now.
Right. That I think that's a good tip to real. I'll have to write that in my notes.
Wait, just saying, going to butt, she might rethink that.
You have to rephrase what you just said, Will.
You got to do it and enjoy it and make sure she is enjoying it.
Right.
Maybe hope.
Maybe rephrase what you just said, Will.
You said
about tips. You might have to rephrase what you just said about having tips.
Oh, right. Pause.
Starting off early. It's not even 10:15. I'm already starting.
Right.
That's why we love you, Sonny.
So definitely trying to use sex as a point. Now, what do you guys think about the whole sex or denial of sex as a punishment?
Well, see, I don't look at it as a punishment. So I've dated guys. We was getting it in, and then they started doing stupid shit, and I took sex out of the equation. It's not necessarily a punishment. It's just it's more of a stance of, you want to do all this and then go ahead and do all that. I'm not going to do this. And then you have to understand that in the mindset of dating wise, at least, that it's a possibility he may go dip in another pond. Because I've done that. If I feel like you dipping in ponds already, I'm taking. If I was having sex with you, I'm out.
Right.
Because I don't want to be involved in that. Like at this age now, especially, I don't have time for that. You want to go hump everybody else? Go right ahead. I'm out of it. And I don't use it as a withholding for you to act right. It's just that I'm not participating in what you're doing, because I don't know what type of sex are you're going into. Are you practicing safe sex? Like, what you doing?
Right.
So rather than sit there, because you're not going to tell me what you're doing. You're going to make up a lie to you, not to you, but like to that man. He may be saying, I'm not doing nothing, knowing damn well he's doing everything under the sun. So it's not a punishment. It's more of a stand of, all right, since you want to do this, I'm not about to do all this. And if you still going to be around in the capacity in which you were around, like if we were dating and you were still doing X, Y, Z and still wanting to be around me without me sleeping with you, then we cool. We got to understand it. You go do what you want to do. I'm going to be out here just chilling. Right. Or possibly doing what I want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a health concern, safety risk. Nobody got time for that. You want to go hump everybody? Go right ahead. I'm out.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is the health risk or the safety risk of that, as well as, I mean, a lot of people get very they get very possessive, violent, so you could definitely be at risk of getting your ass kicked too. So you definitely don't want to go through that. But then too, I think that using sex as a punishment, and then the other person flipping it around and using that punishment as an excuse to go somewhere else, it's just a bad recipe anyway. That's a bad combination.
Yeah, I just don't like. I know people that do use. I know females and or guys that use it as a punishment. It doesn't work.
Right.
The same way sleeping with somebody doesn't work. It doesn't work either way. They're gonna do what they want to do regardless. It's just I think it's more of a discipline for you, for the person. It should be used as discipline for you. It's like you got to make a choice. Either you're going to deal with this person being the way that they are and not sleeping with them, or you're going to take yourself out of the equation altogether.
No doubt, no doubt.
So I think it's if you use that as a punishment, it's a no go. Like I know a lot of people I know in marriages, they say their wife get mad at them, they're not sleeping with them no more. It's a pattern.
Yeah.
You know it. Oh, well, you're mad at me right now because you're not seeing you for a couple days. It's like beating a kid and they knowing it's gonna happen. All right, well, she's gonna beat me and it's gonna be a couple of days and I'll be fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Smooth.
Yeah, my bad. I was having a little bit of technical difficulties with my computer, so I had to switch to the phone. But y'all, I gather y'all talking about using sex as a punishment or withholding sex as a punishment.
Withholding sex as a punishment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of lame. In the first place, and then I think to me, if a relationship gets to that point, in my mind, it's about over. You feel me? In my mind, it's about over because you feel me. You're removing. Now, I mean, of course, intimacy is more than just having sex, but you feel me. Sex is still a part of intimacy. So if you're using that to punish me in a way, especially if you know, like I enjoy having sex with you, then we're gonna have a problem. Because if that person chooses to look elsewhere to satisfy
exactly
that
what
need,
I said,
to satisfy that low desire, then you can't blame nobody but yourself. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's because human nature is if you're withholding, so we're going to search for it somewhere else. So it doesn't even just have to do with sex. You know what I mean? If you're withholding conversation, you know what I mean? If I can't talk to you, guess what? I'm gonna go talk to somebody else.
Right.
That's so like the thing that I just saw on coincidentally TikTok. It was a little thing that somebody was saying. Basically, like if you're mad at me, come talk to me. Don't go talk to him because everything he say about me is gonna sound good. Like you're putting, and vice versa. Like guys do it too. Like you know how you go into shit with your girl. You may have a friend that you're talking to, a female friend, and she's sucking that shit up the same way a guy would. So you can't go if you can't, and that's the thing we talk about when we always talk about communication. You have to communicate. If y'all having issues, communicate.
Right.
And if they're not hearing you, it's one thing to communicate. If they're not hearing you, and they don't have to understand where you're coming from. They have to be able to hear what you're saying and comprehend what you're saying to them. Whether it's you're not saying it exactly how they want you to say it, but they get what you're saying. It's a communication thing. And if you don't want to communicate, like that's fine. But I agree with what you said. I'm like, if it shouldn't be a punishment, it should be something like. And I agree with what you said too. If you feel like that's what you like, if I feel like I'm talking to you and it's not going nowhere and you're doing what you're doing, and I'm taking sex out of the equation, and that's what we used to doing, that's one step out the door.
Where I disagree with you is you need understanding. If we're going to communicate, we don't have to agree. You feel me? Agreement and understanding is two different things. You feel me? So if you're trying to communicate something to me, you know what I mean? Even if I don't agree with you, I have to understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? In order for us to move forward, it has to be some type of understanding because we could come to that's where agreeing to disagree comes from. You feel me? Sometimes we're not going to always be on the same page. And I think a lot of people got to understand that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
And you also have to understand that how you will respond to a situation is not the same way I'm going to respond or react to a situation. And I think that gets missed too, because so say if we're dating and I'm telling you like XYZ bothers me or I'm hurt by this, like, well, that don't bother me. It's not, I didn't ask you what bothers you. Like I'm telling you. And I think that's a lot of part of the communication too, because people expect people to react to situations or react to certain things or respond to certain things the way they would. And I can't ask you to feel how I feel in that situation. I can't ask you to react the same way I would. We're opposites. We're different for a reason. You're gonna react the way you're gonna react, and I'm gonna react the way I want to react. But it's that understanding of why, and then get into the
solution. So you're saying empathize with you for what you're feeling at that time about that particular situation.
Yeah, instead of dismissing it like, well, that wouldn't bother me.
Validation. Yeah. We all. Yeah, exactly. I was reading a book about communication, and it was like, you feel me? A lot of times when we come to somebody, even a friend or what have you, when we come to them with an issue, sometimes we just want them to validate our feelings. And validating our feelings doesn't necessarily mean like Sonny could come to me with something she's going through, and I could 1000% disagree with what from her point of view. You feel me? But before I get there, I have to validate her feelings first. You know what I mean? Just because I don't agree with her doesn't mean her feelings are wrong. You feel me? And sometimes, you feel me, she may just be wanting to vent, or I just may be wanting to vent to whoever my partner is, and that doesn't mean
I want you to fix it.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
You or give your opinion. I just want you to just listen to what I'm saying.
But you know too, I think sometimes people have to say that too, because maybe you are with a fixer, you know, or maybe you are with a person who doesn't understand, you know, centering, right? Mm-hmm. Because, you know, I don't know if I'm using the right term there, but basically you say something like, you know, this hurts my feelings. And then they say, well, such and such hurts my feelings. Instead of keeping the focus on you, they center it back on themselves, you know.
Yeah.
You know, people have a way of making themselves the center of the conversation and figure that is empathizing when they can relate that they've been hurt too, or they've had, you know, a similar feeling, instead of realizing that you just want them to understand what you're going through at that moment, and like you said, just listen or just let you vent or whatever the case may be.
Or I got one better. I got one better. Or understand who you vent to. So if I go talk to Clint, if I go talk to Clint and I'm telling him what I'm going through, I know Clint, he ain't about to be sitting here like, oh, well, what was me? Nah, you know what you need to do? Fuck that person. Like, just that you know who you're venting to. Like, I got friends that I know if I talk to them, they're going to give it to me real raw and uncut and validate my feelings at the same time, tell me where I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And tell me where I need to tighten up. They ain't about to yes me or shit like that. Or you got the friends that's just going to listen to you, let you cry your eyes out, hold you, you know, pat you back and be like, all right, bitch, you all right? Move on. Let's drink something and be done. You got to understand who you're talking to. Right. And if you don't know who you're talking to, then you shouldn't be talking to them.
Exactly. What you guys said, Dan?
One thing. Yeah, man, I was going to say that one thing, withholding sex for punishment is very petty and childish. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. You know, I could say if you might be upset about something, maybe, you know, maybe now is not a good time to be trying to have sex anyway. Then on top of what you were talking about, venting and maybe validating people's feelings. If you're the receiver on that end, if somebody want to vent to you or talk and you disagree with it, maybe just having a conversation with them, trying to understand where they're coming from to see how they feel. Maybe not trying to be right or try to tell them that, no, they're wrong, is not a good time. Maybe just listening to them and being that friend. That depends on how deep that conversation is going too. Like, if it's something serious, maybe you can say, well, I understand how you feel, but I could see where this is going, X, Y, Z, before you do this before you get put in a situation. But if it's something very, very, mundane or something very small, you can just let that go. Just like, I understand how you feel, man. I'm sorry you feel that way. Just validate the feelings. Go from there.
Yeah.
Also,
I think what Willie said is right too.
I mentioned this on a previous show a while back. Is you got to learn. You know, we kind of talking about it here. Is, you feel me? Everybody ain't meant for you to communicate with.
Yeah.
You understand? So just because you have feelings for somebody, when you realize y'all can't communicate properly, well, it doesn't matter if y'all have feelings for each other. It's never going to work. So sometimes communication is key. So I don't care how much you like somebody, how much you love somebody. If y'all can't communicate, the relationship is never going to work. And a lot of people, it's hard to accept that. It's hard to get past that. It's like, oh man, I love this person, but y'all can't communicate. You feel me? It always into an argument. You don't never feel like you can get your point across. They never feel like they can get their point across. It's always tension. So now I mean, what I learned is from personal experience. Like recently, I say recently, last year, I was dating a girl, and you feel me? She would always try to talk to me about a particular issue with her family. You feel me? As if she wanted me to give her advice, right? So when I give her what she really wanted from me is just to agree with her. You feel me? To validate that, all right, what you did in that situation was right. But I didn't agree. You feel me? So now we at an impasse, so to speak. Now I mean, like, because I'm not about to lie to you. You feel me? You just want me to lie to you to make you feel good. That's not me. You feel me? So you have to understand me. So if you're looking from me, and I'm not giving it to you, and then you get mad at me for being me, that's a problem. Because now you're asking me to change who I am, compromise who I am at my core for you. And I'm not going to do that for no one. You understand? So at the end of the day, me and her had to split ways, because I'm like, if you have a problem with the way I communicate to you, then maybe we shouldn't communicate. You know what I mean? That's the problem. I don't care how much we like each other or how much anything else. It's like, it's over.
Right.
You know what, Clint? That goes with just friends too, not just people who you're.
It goes with any relationship. It goes past. It's past friends. It could be with family. It could be with children. It's just that communication barrier that y'all. Because if you got somebody that you always talking to that's always on defense, you can't talk to them.
Right. Because I have somebody who I grew up with. I got somebody who I grew up with. I had to cut them off because even though I loved him like a brother when I was growing up, he ain't past that level. He's still in that immature stage where he just want to hang out, do this and do that, and not grow up. And I'm like, dude, I'm on another level. He's out here now, and you still up here trying to play games. That's not for everybody. I can't even talk to you the same just because your mentality is different. Your mentality is still back like when we were in our 20s. It ain't the same no more, man. Life went on. You still there.
Right.
I can't talk to you the same.
Yeah, that's real right there. I mean, I've gone through that with people, and sometimes it's a little not disheartening, but it's like it's sad because you're like, I love this person. I appreciate them, all the things that we've been through in life. But then when you see that change in yourself, but it's them not being able to either keep up or just the difference in paths, into adulthood or into growth, like you may be, like I'm a businessman, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, versus somebody that's maybe still just, trying to figure life out or still trying to figure out, how to be loved and never had real love, so it's like having that difference creates scenarios where things just don't line up. So you're right, you definitely have to be conscious of who you're dealing with, and how they're going to react to certain situations too, because like I may run into a situation and I'm talking about, oh well, I'm dealing with this with a girl, or I'm dealing with this with at the time when I was married, like, oh, I'm dealing with this with my wife, blah blah blah, and they can't relate, right? People being able to relate sometime also may hinder that communication or may hinder your ability to have that back and forth conversation.
Yeah, but I definitely think you have to really pay attention to who you have to know who you're venting to.
No doubt.
This is something I had posted when I was at the laundromat the other day. You got to understand your place with people and make sure they understand their place with you, and stop looking for stuff from people with nothing to offer you. You feel me? And that was to your point into as far as certain friends or relationships. After a certain point, you feel me? Like Willie just said, you know, we all go through different things in life. We are all experiencing different things. So if I can't relate to you and you can't relate to me no more on a certain level, then certain conversations we can't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I have quite a few close friends that's married, you know what I mean? And then they used to come to me and vent or ask for advice, and my advice to them was always about them. You feel me? Because I'm like, I can't give you advice on your marriage. I'm not married. You feel me?
No doubt.
At the time, I wasn't even in a relationship, but I know you. So I can talk about how you deal with things, how I seen you deal with things and relationship situations, or how you react. I can give you that type of information, but don't come to me for relationship advice knowing I can't give you that. And then you looking at me, like I said, we always got to be aware of who we go and talk to, because I could go look for advice from Sonny, and if Sonny can't give me what I'm looking for, then I get mad at Sonny. You know what I mean? When it ain't her fault, because I shouldn't have went to her in the first place.
Right.
You feel me? You know what I mean? So like, we really have to be aware of who we go to for advice, and everybody plays with us at our present time. You know what I mean? Because certain close friends, like we still close friends, but certain conversations we can't have no more. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Yo, I got a question for you then. Why do a lot of bitter people who are single or in a relationship, when they're mad at their spouse or significant other, go to single bitter people for advice who's not in a relationship?
Hey, Brittany.
Hey, how you doing?
My question would be to you first. How do we know that single person is bitter? You know what I mean? Like, how do we know just because a person is bitter? I mean, single doesn't make them bitter on relation. Like,
that's true.
You know what I mean?
They could be speaking from a place of something they might have went through something like that person did. So and that's the thing. Like, I don't get I don't get why people, and this is coming from a single person, but I'm not bitter by far. But I just feel like I always find it funny that people get mad that single people give advice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, y'all act like because we're single in that particular time span or whatever time span it is, that we can't offer any advice to nothing. Like, we never been through shit, or we just don't know certain things. Like, because sometimes you ask people that went through what you went through, or you ask a female for advice because you don't understand something from a female's point of view, or you ask a guy's point of view. I don't care if you're single or not. If I'm asking a friend for advice, I want their advice because I think that they may be able to shed some light on something that I'm not thinking about, or a perspective that I may not think about. I don't care if they're single or not. I may ask a married friend about something and they can't help me because they shouldn't be able to tell me because I'm single. Like, if vice versa, it shouldn't matter whether somebody's single. If they're bitter, their answer may be a bitter answer. Like, they always like, leave him. They might be bitter, but but you have to understand why somebody's saying that. Or they don't have to be bitter for that. I mean, it depends on the situation and what type of advice they're given and what they've been through and how their personal life experiences could help that person avoid whatever they went through.
But to directly answer Dane's question too, though, see, the problem in that situation, the issue isn't with the bitter friend you went to. The issue is you. You feel me? You're having issues in your marriage. Why the hell are you going to a friend who you know is bitter, trying to get advice? So the problem is you. Yeah. So the problem is you. Don't put that off on your friend. That's you absolving yourself from responsibility in your own situation. You know what I mean? All of us probably have done that before in a relationship. Went to the friend who you know just going to agree with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you wanted them to agree with you in that moment.
Yeah, that's not the friend part. That's not, because I played that position before. You know what I mean? But I tell people now, like, I have no relationship advice for you. You feel me? If you're not leaving them, leave me out of it. Because what you coming to me for? You feel me? If you're not leaving them, don't come to me for advice. Because my advice to any woman, any dude, anything, leave. If you have that much issue in your relationship, leave. That's my first thing I'm gonna tell him. Leave. No, I don't want to leave. Then why the fuck you talking to me?
No, that's and you know what my thing. You know what's
funny
funny
to the person you have an issue with. Go talk to the person.
No, and it's funny because you get to the point where you got these friends that go through stuff. I'm probably one of these friends that go through stuff all the time, and it's the same conversation. It's like, yo, are you done or are you done?
Right.
Like I don't care about the situation. Are you done or are you done? It's the same shit, different person. Like it's you. Like so, and it's not being bitter. It's just what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
But I mean, and I agree with Clint.
Yeah, my thing about that too. Yeah, my thing about that too is just the thing of like what Clint was alluding to is that a lot of times we want somebody else to validate or to agree with us, right? But then we also are trying to avoid the conversations that we need to be having with our significant others, the conversations that or the thoughts or the what they call it, the issues that we want to present to that person. We're presenting it to friends, we're presenting it to family members, and we're not getting anything resolved. You know, I went through that recently where I was asking a bunch of people, you trying
to show off his hair. Okay, Clint. Okay.
right.
So I think I'm like, okay, all right, Clint, time to be extra.
Situation that I really needed to go to my significant other about and ask her and say, look, this is the issue I'm having, or this is the questions I'm having, or this is the problems I'm having. And this is, tell me what you think, or tell me what you're really doing or what you want to do about this. Right. And when it came down to it, when I finally did make that step, it came down to me being afraid. Right. I was fearful of being put on the spot.
Hey,
I was fearful. Hey,
Team bitter. Hashtag don't do that. That's my wise one right there. That's y'all remember Kiana.
Right. And hey, Carly, appreciate you stopping in. What they call it, the fear factor or the avoidance that we do, that's the big thing. We're doing that to try to get out of, rocking the boat. Like I told my girl when I talked to her about the situation, I was like, look, I was afraid to rock this boat, but it's time to, see if it's going to sink, And
I think a lot of people are scared to have conversations that they want to have because for that particular reason, like you don't want to have that conversation because then you're the bad guy. You now like that's almost like that's equivalent to asking a guy that you've been talking to for like a couple months, like, what are we doing? It's like, what? What the fuck she asked? Like some people are scared of even asking that. Like what are we doing? Like what's our future? This and the third, because it's scary because you might be shot down immediately, or it may be like a slow torture down the end and then shot down later, or maybe it'll work. But I think that's and that's the part of the thing. The community, we talk about that so much. The communication, you have to be able to have those conversations. You got to have the hard conversations because then you get to situations where you're down the road and you didn't know something and now you find out something and it's a deal breaker for you.
Right.
That and they probably got comfortable with you. They didn't want nothing to change. And they, if you shoot them down, they don't want to be shot down and they don't want to ruin something that's already there. You know what I'm saying? They want to ruin that moment.
Yeah.
I think a lot of problems with a lot of relationships is too many people. We try to take the easy route. You know what I mean? Like we talking about communication, but what my thing is, do people really know how to communicate? You know what I mean? And then sometimes it's like we get so infatuated with somebody that we look over the simple things that really is going to cause issues in a relationship. You know what I mean? And we don't talk about it because, like Willie said, you don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be an issue and it's going to be probably an end.
Yeah.
You don't want to deal with it.
But then we end up in these relationships that lead to nowhere.
Or situationships.
Exactly.
Because we don't have these difficult conversations. Because one of the situations I've been in, you know what I mean? Like, we glossed over it, but we shared different. Like I posted before, if y'all don't share similar values, then y'all should part ways. You feel me? And that applies to all relationships. You feel me? Because if we don't share similar values, right, what do we really have in common? At some point, resentment is going to creep in, because we both going to be making too many compromises against our core of who we are. But a lot of us, we get so comfortable, we're so lazy. That's the real issue. We're lazy in our courting of each other and our getting to know each other. You feel me? Because we just want to say we have somebody. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like it all leads back to you. You feel me? A lot of our issues in relationships is really our own faults. Not what I mean, that we're projecting on other people. You feel me? But since we want to be comfortable, since we want somebody to love us, since we, you know what I mean, don't love ourselves enough to be alone, you know what I mean, we accept shit that we shouldn't accept.
Right.
And we don't have conversations that we need to have. You know what I mean?
It might be our defense mechanism.
Exactly,
Brittany.
You know what I mean?
She said it's uncomfortable to have conversations that could possibly change your relationship. For me, at least, sometimes we get too comfortable and don't want to risk. Exactly. I think a lot of us do that.
Yeah.
So what's the relationship?
Or we know what the reply gonna be.
Yeah, but what is the relationship really worth if you can't have difficult conversations?
True.
Very true. Very true.
You know what I mean? What's love? What's love if we can't argue and be mad at each other for a moment and get right back? That ain't love. Then we shouldn't be together.
Right.
Hey, John Q.
What's going on, John Q?
What's good, brother? You know what I mean? That's my point. Like if I can't have uncomfortable, you know what I mean, you can't grow being comfortable. You can't grow being comfortable. So if we can't have uncomfortable situations and learn from it and improve from progress from it, then what's the point?
Right.
Or have conversations without it ending into always going into an argument.
Well, sometimes
because you can't have a conversation that's when you're expressing yourself and then it goes into a full blown, and it shouldn't.
Oh,
like sometimes if I decide to say, hey, Clint, let me express myself, I feel this way about blah, 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 it goes into an argument every time. That's not good.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be a full blown battle every time. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's one thing to have a disagreement or to have a difference of opinion. It's another thing to just never be able to agree on anything or never be able to have a civilized conversation about something and come to an agreement.
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
come to a compromise.
Here's the thing, Sonny. Though. My issue is this though. Don't come to me with the same conversation over and over. After I don't, know what I mean, and expecting me, if I tell you who I am, know what I mean, if you know me, so if you know I'm honest and upfront about a situation, and I tell you what it is, you know what I mean, and I'm emphatic in my explanation, and I'm letting you know I'm not budging, right? Don't keep coming back to me with that same conversation, because then
you already know the end result.
Then at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna look at it like you don't believe me or you're not listening. You feel me? You don't, you know what I mean? And then on your end, you should be like, well, if it affects me that much that I got to keep bringing up this conversation and he not budging on it, then you have to make a decision.
Right.
You have to, and don't put it on me, because I told you who I was.
Yeah.
I told you what I am. You feel me? Now, if you can't accept that, and you trying to change that, then guess what? That's your problem. You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
No doubt.
Don't keep bringing it to me. Don't keep bringing your problem to me after I already told you what it was. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of things. A lot of times people keep having the same conversations over and over.
Yeah. I've had that plenty of times. More than I care to mention.
Right.
Did we lose Sonny?
What? Damn, you fired. Can we delete him? What's the next one?
Scrolling things on my end.
All right. So the next topic is it don't take more than 90 days to get cuffed. So So this one, I think I understand where they're going with on this one, in terms of people who can't commit, who can't come to an agreement of where are we or what we're doing, that kind of thing. But I think I believe that some of this comes from, again, lack of communication. It also comes from lack of commitment in general, or fear of commitment in general, because a lot of people, they start dating and they really just want to play the field, or they really just want to see what's out there, and they may find you, but then they're like, well, I want to make sure that I got the best thing I can get, that kind of thing. So you see that a lot. So I definitely agree that if the person that you're trying to date seems to be vague, seems to be wishy-washy, and you want a relationship, you're looking to get cuffed, or you're looking to move towards something more solid, then you definitely want to either ask the questions, put your feelings out there, because a lot of times I think that's what happens, is that people don't put their feelings out there. They don't take that next step and say, you know what, I feel this is a red flag, or I feel this is an issue, or I feel that we aren't moving. Like when me and my fiance were getting together, part of it was we were in a long distance, we were still are, but we were at a long distance. But the other part of it was we weren't having that conversation. And she asked me one day, like, where are we, or where are we going? And without her asking that question, in my mind, I'm thinking we're moving right along, and sometimes you're not getting that information, or you're not getting that feeling rather from that person. So you have to ask. If you don't ask, you may not get the answer that you want, or you may, be going nowhere in a relationship fast.
Willie, can I, before we get into that, I wanted to ask you a question about that long distance.
Yes.
I'm in a similar thing, and that same question was posed to me. Where are we going? In my mind, everything love, everything, we moving right along. With all this pandemic, y'all know my issues. You feel me? I can't really I ain't doing too much airplane, none of that right now. You feel me? So like that's a hindrance or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? So, you know what I mean? But it's also an issue. Mm-hmm. It's also an issue. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad you brought that up, because, and I guess I could correlate it with the thing is there should be no time limit. You feel me? Every situation is different. You feel me? Like I really don't agree with that statement that it takes 90 days or you should be cuffed, because you don't know, everybody's situation different. Everybody's circumstance is different. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know where you're meeting a person at and at that time in life, what they're going through. Right. You feel me? And so now if you get attached to that person, you have to understand their situation. You feel me? And you can't rush it. That's my opinion.
Well, yeah, I don't
chime in on that too.
I don't agree with making it sound like there's a specific amount of time. That's why I led with, it's about communication, because if you're having an issue moving a relationship forward because distance, because issues that you're going through, it could be emotional issues you're going through, at that time. It could be health issues that you're going through at that time. It could be, whatever the case may be. Like you said, there's a lot of different reasons. Everybody's different. Everybody has different situations. When I was first getting in this relationship, it was just the distance was an issue. But I solved the distance issue by jumping on that plane, going where I needed to go to be with her. But when it came to, like you said, the pandemic, I haven't seen her since December of last year. So now there's not just the distance, but it's also a worldwide pandemic out there, and it makes it more challenging, right? I mean, it's definitely put our relationship on a standstill, on a pause, because we can't communicate as much. We can't see each other. We can't do things like we used to. Spending time together, building on what we have. So it becomes an issue of now we have to decide how do we move forward. But then again, communication, right? Like I said, when I went to her a couple weeks ago and said, look, I'm having this issue and this issue, that was one of my issues, was like, how do you feel about this? I can make all the assumptions I want. I can do all the thinking about this I want to do, and I can go talk to all the other people I want to, but until I bring that to the table with her and say, look, this is how I feel. How do you feel about this? And get her input. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to do anything about it, right? And the relationship is going to fold eventually, because if you can't communicate on the little things, you're definitely not going to be able to communicate on the big things. And that's what's most important, is bringing anything that you're unsure about, that you're making assumptions about, or that you think is going on. You need to bring that to your partner. And vice versa. That partner needs to bring things to you. She was making assumptions about certain things. Like I've been traveling. She doesn't travel. She's in the same situation you're in. She's like, health wise, pandemic wise, I'm not doing nothing. I'm going to sit here and chill. I was like, I'm out. I'm about to go do stuff. I went to LA. I went to Denver. I went to, I had to work. I had to go see my boy, so I'm out there. Right. And she was asking the question, why didn't you come see me? Like, I didn't know you wanted me to come see you, So if she doesn't tell me, how do I know, right? And so we had that conversation and was able to put that on the table. The assumptions I was making versus the assumptions she was making, and clear the air and make sure that we're both on the same page and can move forward and keep our relationship on track. We rocked the boat, and the boat didn't sink. So it sunk once during the conversation, but we brought it back on shore. So.
Yeah, Clint. Being in a relationship, long distance relationship years ago, my ex moved from the city that she was from to Detroit. Our relationship totally changed when she got here, and I told her it was going to change, but she didn't believe me. Those people from PA, they just don't listen. So, yeah, I had to throw that in there. Hi, Brett. But she moved here. Got a good job. I had a good job when we first met. Some things came up. She ended up moving to Florida. I lost my job up here. I moved to Florida with her. I got the same job I had up here, but better. And our relationship kept growing and changing, because you're going to have some different dynamics when y'all get closer to each other, because y'all have more time to be intimate and have those uncomfortable conversations and discussions. It doesn't always have to be an argument, just disagreements. But you just got to be level-headed about it. Just got to be realistic and honest with each other, and also be honest with yourself on where this relationship is going, because your feelings for her and her feelings for you are going to change when y'all get closer to each other.
Exactly. That's the point. It is crazy. I'm so glad you said that, Dan, because that was the point I was trying to make. You know what I mean? I'll be like, everything be good with the talking and all that, FaceTime and all that. I said, but when we get around each other, and we around each other consistently, not just get around each other, but see those little idiosyncrasies that we all have, you feel me? We can't see if we're not around each other. And then when we're around each other, it may bug us. You feel me? Just by the way you run your house or just certain things may just get on your nerve about a person. Like, man, I ain't know that about you. And then guess what? You're going to end up judging them a little bit more harshly, than you would have.
Right.
And the little thing that she did that was cute ain't cute no more.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's like that stuff like that, Like, yeah.
I don't know, because I'm dating some guy from New York, and that's not far to me. That's right there. But we're dating or whatever.
Not far enough, Sonny.
I know it's not. I've dated people further than that, but I'm just saying, like, as of recently, dated somebody from New York, and even like that, we had to communicate about how we're gonna work out with. Because for me, I don't really have free time, so it's like, let's figure out that, because for me, I gotta get a sitter. I don't send my son with anybody, so that was a big factor for me. and then let's make it count, because so he has kids here. Well, he has a daughter here, so it's like, let's figure that out. Like when you come visit her, go bool up with her, and then we figure out how we're gonna hang out together. And when I come there, that's our undivided. Let's hang out. We got the whole weekend. Let's just chill. And we got the whole weekend that kind of just without any distractions. There's no distractions on his part, no distractions on my part. We just hanging out, just with each other, like playing games, stupid shit, having conversations that we don't want to have, all that stuff. So I mean, I've had relationships where I've dated people that was lived down in North Carolina, so or Virginia, so that's a little further, but you make it work, and the communication is the key with that, and then making time for each other, spending time with each other, not just making time on the phone, but actually going to see each other, like and then financially being able to do so, because that's a lot. You're gonna go, they don't live where you live,
right?
And if most of us like to be around our significant others all the time, or as much as we can, and realistically that's not going to happen. So you have to balance that out, where you can't see them, you're going to miss them way more, and then when you get around them, you're going to smother them and don't want to share them with nobody, all that stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
It reminds me of that Fresh Prince.
You brought up a good point, Sonny, that outside of the long distance relationships, there's also having relationships with people who have kids, and that becomes a big challenge when you're dating people who either don't have kids or who don't take care of their kids, not don't take care of, you know what I mean, who don't have their children all the time. It becomes a challenge. Hopefully ain't nobody out there dating people who ain't taking care of their kids.
Yeah, because we don't date deadbeats, moms or dads.
Them dumbs or them bummettes.
Yeah, we don't date deadbeat moms or dads, so don't do that. And if you're a deadbeat, well, let's clarify this: if you're a deadbeat, if you got 4 kids and you only take care of one, use the fucking deadbeat. So.
Exactly.
You gotta take care of every last. You made 8 of them. You gotta take care of all 8 of them.
Right, but the challenge there becomes timing. Right, it's always about timing. Be it if you're the person wants to be spontaneous and you're like, I gotta have a sitter, or the person wants you to do some big trip and you're like, I gotta have a sitter, or like a friend of mine. Me and some of my friends are talking about going to Vegas, but she's literally homeschooling her kid. Like my kids are teenagers, so homeschool for me is like, did you work? Did you do your work today? Cool. All right, check. For her, she has to actually sit there and homeschool her kid. So going to Vegas with us is just not something that she can just up and do. She has to have time, or she has to arrange it. So it's like
my friends are trying to go to Jamaica.
Right. So you have all of these factors and these challenges that you have to consider when you're dating somebody as well. So you definitely can't put a time limit on them, and you also can't try to force them. I mean, unless that's just not what you want. You have to put that up front too. It's like, are you going to be willing to work with these challenges? Are you going to be willing to deal with these time constraints and these the possibility? Like I dated this woman once where I was, I didn't have any kids at the time. Surprise, surprise. There was a time I didn't have kids. So.
Oh, really?
The lies you tell.
I know, right? So I was dating her, and she had a little girl, and she broke a couple of dates or couldn't get sitters. And at first I was a little salty about it, but then I had to realize, is this the right relationship for me? Am I ready to handle that kind of thing going on? And, at the time I was immature. So, I just was like, this isn't working for me. And not to say that I was immature in the way of I should have just accepted it. It wasn't for me. And that was the maturity part. I was immature.
Well, your values were different then.
Understanding what she was going through. I was immature.
And that's actually better that you did that versus than have her feel like she had to choose between you and her kid.
Exactly. So I felt like that was the thing to do, was for me to say, you know what, this isn't for me. I'm going to figure out something else. Let her figure out somebody, find somebody who can handle that at that time, But I think that a lot of times people, they don't think about that, or they don't, they tell you, oh yeah, it's cool, especially when like in your situation, Sonny, you have a whole nother set of challenges when you're dealing with one, a kid in college, and then 2, a kid with autism. So you're like, I'm stretched, different ways.
Yeah, I tell them when they come in, listen, you date me, You can't last minute me with anything.
Exactly.
Like it takes a mature person.
I'm a spontaneous person, but if you ask me to go with you and it's right now, today is Monday, you said can we go out Tuesday? It's a possibility that Tuesday is not gonna happen. Right. Like you gave me one whole day to find a sitter, and it's on the school way. Like this shit ain't gonna happen. It may not work in your favor. So understand that, and we can get past that. If it happens, God was on our side. If it doesn't, it just listen.
It takes a real mature person to realize, like you did, Willie, that this ain't for you, because most people would still try to force their way or force a relationship out of something they really don't want or want to be with. They don't want that responsibility of being maybe a role model for that child.
Or maybe they're selfish. They just want to. They're not ready for that, and they want to be selfish, and they're allowed to be that way.
Yeah, but I don't even look at it as being selfish.
Well, not being selfish, because they know if they just worried about, they're not really trying to be in the parental.
It's like, you feel me? Like, because when he said immature, like I don't think it's immature at all to leave that situation.
No, that's very mature.
Because it's not what you want. You feel me? Like, you don't have to accept her child. That's not your child. Right. We had a conversation about this before. We had a whole topic about this before, about is it your responsibility to raise that child, you know what I mean, all that, or even adopt that child. We had a specific topic about, you know what I mean, if you're raising a child, should you adopt it? Adopt that child if the biological father isn't there. You feel me? Everybody had their different opinions on that, but like it's technically it's not your responsibility. Just like my daughter come first. So any female that I deal with, any woman that I deal with, she got to know she's second. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Second. It's not even a conversation. Right. You feel me? You bring that up. Yeah. You know what I mean? My daughter first, ASAP. So like, if she don't want to accept that, if she can't deal with that, if she feel like my daughter's a threat, deuces. You feel me?
I never get that. How do you feel like a child is a threat?
But so
they do. Some people do feel
that. I would never get that.
Especially a woman, especially like I got a daughter. So, I was dealing with a girl just last year, same girl I was talking about earlier. She felt like my daughter didn't like her.
So?
You feel me? But that became an issue because I'm like, don't tell me a 6-year-old don't like you. You feel me? When she never, did you do anything to her? No. Well, then why she don't have no reason to like?
Or maybe your energy is off and she don't, the vibe ain't right.
But I know my daughter, that's not my daughter. My daughter not going to just not like nobody. You feel me? My daughter just going to go with the flow. You know what I mean? That's daddy friend. You know what I mean? Whatever happens, happens. You feel me? But she not going to, but I know a lot of women who are threatened by that. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And to me, because this is men giving women advice, like you have to understand in a situation, because women want to be first. They want to be held on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. Your pedestal will never reach my daughter. You know what I mean?
Your kids come first. I'm parenting. My kids come first. I ain't even trying to beat them.
Unless my daughter is grown and we're married, then guess what? My daughter grown. She got to handle her business on you. You no longer on that pedestal, baby. It's me and my wife now. You feel me? If we start a family, then that. But as long as my daughter's still a child, you can't. You know what I mean? That's not going to budge. That's not going to budge at all. So it's like, you know what I mean? That child situation, I respect it. I respect it more if you just tell me you can't deal with that and leave.
Right.
Than trying to make me compromise.
Yeah.
You feel me? Or, you know what I mean? Like that's weak to me. That's weak to me.
But I think a lot of that is one is insecurities, but then two, it's again, I think it's the communication part of it, right? Because if they come to you and say, look, I'm having this insecurity about your child not liking me, and I can actually relate to the anxiety they get over that, because when you're dating somebody that has a kid, a lot of times you want that kid to like you because you know that kid is the most important thing to that parent, right? And if that parent detects or feels like their kid can't accept you, you're going to either feel like that parent is going to put you to the side or let you go, or you may feel like it just won't be a good fit because you may not be able to interact well with that parent or with them and their kid. Because I know I've been through that. You know, I had a girl I was dating where she had 2 sons. One of the sons was just fine. He was really young. I think he was like 2 or 3 years old, something like that. But the other son was older, and he interacted with his father a lot. He was a little bit older, and so when I was around, you know, he wasn't like pushing me away, or he wasn't saying off things. He just had this energy about him that was just like, you know, you don't got to be here, you know, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? and so. And then he would always do weird little stuff, you know, that was just like off-putting to me. And I just kind of felt like, you know, either he was doing it on purpose to try to like, to kind of like get at me, or maybe his father was coaching him. Or I don't know what it was. All I felt like at the time was like, this was not going to work for me. You know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of times because of the fact that I've dated women with kids in the past, I knew that I had to kind of either get over the kid thing, or I had to make the decision like, this isn't going to work because I'm not going to try to pursue this relationship if I can't get along with your kid. You know what I mean?
Well, no, see,
I felt like I needed to have some kind of connection there, because especially with most women that I date, their kid is their number one priority, is their number one thing in their life. So they want to see that, you know what I mean? So I think that a lot of people, when they go through that, they're looking at it from the standpoint of, how do I, it's not just about you anymore. You know, just like you don't want it to be about, you don't want that person to feel like your kid is a hindrance, but you also have to understand that they see that kid is the number one thing to you. So they want to get in with both of you. It's a package deal, right? You know, so they look at it as, I gotta impress both of you at the same time.
Yeah, but I went through that. I said I went through that with one of the guys I lived with. His kids, they were older. They were like probably like 8, and then like 10 or something, or 11. It was 2 of them, a boy and a girl. I don't want to say they didn't like me. They felt like I was trying to replace their mother.
Right.
Even though I didn't come in with that intention. Like, I love your dad, I love y'all. That was just how I was coming. And I'm going to treat y'all the same way I treated my daughter. No different. I would take care of y'all like I would take care of her. Very simple. Until, like I said, it was an incident that happened, and I had to have a conversation with the mom, because the mom basically told him not to listen to anything I said, which almost landed her kid in the hospital and hit by a car, because he was told he didn't listen to me. So we had that conversation. So we had to have that conversation. And I had a conversation with the kids first, and I said, I'm not trying to replace your mom. I said, I asked them flat out, because they were old enough, what is your issue with me? And that's why and the response I got was, you trying to be my mom. I'm not. I said, I'm definitely not trying to be your mother. You have a mom. Not trying to be your mom or anything like that. I said, you're your dad's kids. I love y'all like I love him. And I'm going to make sure that y'all good.
Let me ask you something. Was he there when you had that conversation?
Was he there? I don't even remember.
Because I'm gonna keep it at 1,000 with you.
Yeah, you would have wanted you would have wanted to be there.
Yeah, I would have. Because that's his responsibility, not yours, to ask that question.
Well, no, and I get that. I don't remember.
No, I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm saying he was wrong, or he wasn't on top of things in that situation, because if so, he would have knew how his kids felt, and he should have sat down and had that conversation with his kid before you, if with you there, you know what I mean?
I think at this point,
explain to them, like, listen, this is who I love. This is who I'm with. She's not your mom. She's not trying to replace your mom, but you will show her the proper respect that she deserves. You feel me? If you have any issues, let's sit down and have a conversation and talk about it. But at no point in time, because one thing I have an issue with a lot of parents, and is like, we give our kids too much power. You feel me? Like, kids have to stay in the kids' place.
Yeah.
You feel me? And sometimes we let these kids run around and don't they don't have the proper respect for adults like they should have. You know what I mean? For authority figures like they should have. That's why you had them issues like Willie said he was having with the, you know what I mean, with the kid doing off-putting stuff in front of him. That's why you were having issues, because sometimes we give our kids too much freedom to think that's okay. To think
and that's what,
okay,
and that's basically what she did. But I'm thinking about it. I don't think he was there. He was there when I had a conversation with their mom.
Yeah,
because that was like directly after, like, my conversation with them was directly after the situation of him almost getting hit by a car.
Yeah.
And so I had a conversation with him. I had a conversation with him and his sister, and then my daughter was there too. I don't think their dad was there, but when their mom showed up, I had a conversation with both of them. And I said to her, I said, listen, and I said to her, I'm not trying to replace you. I don't know why you would tell your kids not to listen to me. And I said, I come in, I said, I'm a mother at first. I'm going to protect any kid like they're my own. Like, even if I don't know the kids, if a kid about to get hit by a car, I'm going to react the same way, even if it's not my child. If it's a kid on the street, I would react the same way I did with your son. And I said to her, I said, I did grab him. He probably was upset the way I grabbed him, but it was either me grab him, yoke him up the way I did, or him get hit by a car. So you could be mad about that, or your son could have got hit. But I said the whole thing could have been avoided because you told him not to listen to me. And like I believe I addressed him too, but I just was like, I don't want this situation going forward, because I wouldn't tell my daughter not to listen to you. If I left my daughter, if I felt comfortable enough to leave my child with you in your care for hours, I know that you have the best interest of, I would assume that you have the best interest of my child, for my child to be left with you.
Right.
So I would offer the same respect to the mom, because, and I said to her, because as much as you don't watch them when they're sick and you don't work, and I take off work to watch them, and you're their mom and you don't have a job, but you don't watch them, you know that your kids are safe with me. So for you to do that is counterproductive. And I said to her, when me and her walked down the hallway, I said, if you still want to be with this man, then I get it. But don't jeopardize your kids because you still want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you.
Can we're in an after show, but I want to get some,
well, since we're in the after show, let me just do this real quick.
I like that.
Right. After the show, it's the after party, and
just because we talking about giving advice, men giving advice to women. So I want to give advice to a lot of you women out there. I remember one time I was trying to get at this this young lady. I was real infatuated with her, and my boy and his wife, they were close to her. They know her or whatever. And my boy said something to me that really, turned me off from him. He made me upset. He's like, bro, she about her business.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? All that. You feel me? And I looked at her. I'm like, what you mean? She was like, yeah, man. She, she got her own job. She got her own car, her own crib, and all this type stuff. I said, so what that mean? I said, I know some straight up whores who got all of that. And,
right.
You feel me? Being about your business don't mean a damn thing. The same thing ladies tell men. I don't want your money. I don't want your car. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Guess what? A grown man feels the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want nothing from you. You can't give us nothing. You feel me? We don't need you. We want you. And just because you have your shit together, as far as that don't mean you have your life together.
Amen.
So see, a lot of you women out there, and they gonna get mad at y'all. Don't have your life together. Y'all emotional
together.
Y'all emotional wrecks. You feel me?
Are you talking about me? Are you speak this?
Nah. You know, I tell you straight to you feel me? A lot of y'all emotional wrecks. Y'all haven't dealt with trauma that y'all went through in the past. You feel me? And y'all looking for love in all the wrong places. You feel me? And y'all finding love in all the wrong things. You feel me? So a lot of y'all be talking about y'all, these dudes and shit and all that. It's because you
right.
Look in the mirror and realize who you dealing with. Now I mean, and I'm talking about now I mean in the mirror. When you're looking in the mirror, because you got to deal with yourself first.
Right.
You feel me? Before you deal with anybody else. And a lot of y'all don't want to deal with yourself first. Y'all don't want to deal with your own shit first. You feel me? So y'all punch down. You feel me? And y'all deal with dudes who y'all really shouldn't be dealing with. You know what I mean? And then when it don't work out right, y'all want to blame other men. You feel me? Y'all want to blame the whole. You know what I mean? Or some of you go the whole opposite way into where y'all want to express all this love and be so in love with somebody you don't even know. You feel me? Because you haven't dealt with, because you searching for something. You feel me? Let me tell you something. Whatever you're searching for, you got to find it in you first. Know what I mean? Because I see it every day. So many women out here, they know what I mean? They done been through a lot. And a lot of it, to be quite honest, is from your own doing. You know what I mean? And a lot of it, to be quite honest, is just from y'all, a lot of dudes ain't shit. You know what I mean? Y'all dealing with ain't shit dudes. You feel me? And then wonder why y'all get ain't shit results. You know what I mean? So my advice to a lot of women is get your shit.
They're like the ancient dudes are the attractive ones.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like get your mind right. A lot of y'all mind ain't right. You feel me? A lot of y'all mind ain't right. You feel? I don't care about if y'all got y'all business, y'all got this, y'all don't need a nigga for that. Okay, cool. But a lot of y'all don't know how to communicate properly. You feel me? Y'all think just because y'all women, y'all just because y'all know how to talk fast or out talk somebody, y'all saying something. A lot of y'all don't be saying shit.
Clint is on the rant. Go ahead, give him the floor. Put him on the big screen, Willie. Put him all by himself.
I know, right?
Get his off his chest.
Nah, because I don't have family members, female family sisters, all this, go through all this stuff with these niggas. And I'm like, when are you going to assume some responsibility? You feel me? When are you going to look in the mirror? You feel me? Why, if you continue to keep doing the same thing over and over, that's insanity. You feel me? The problem is you.
I think you're talking about me. It is me. It is me.
You feeling that in your soul?
No, because like no real talk, no bullshit. Like this last week or two, like the stuff that I have been through, I'm just like really like I really had like I didn't have much downtime to myself, but for the days that I did, I didn't look in the mirror, Clint, but I self-reflected. And I took accountability for a lot of stuff that I chose to do. I took accountability for going from one toxic situation to another because like one of my friends, Kiana, who was on here, I'm saying hashtag Team Messy, whatever she said, was it Team Messy or whatever she said. You Team Bitter. She said to me, and I when she said it to me, it didn't register, but like the other day it registered. You know how us females or guys too that go through something so traumatic with a person, and then you meet somebody and it's like a light at the end of the tunnel because somehow like you're telling them your past trauma, so now they're just giving you this light at a lighthouse that's shining on you, and you're able to do whatever you weren't able to do in the last situation. So you're happy or overly excited for stuff that they're doing that they're supposed to be doing, like normal shit, Right. He's just like, oh my God, it's the best shit ever. I love him. And it's like, yo, because he's doing shit he's supposed to do, not because he's doing nothing extraordinary. Because right. he could have returned the phone call. You like, yeah, he turned a phone call, like, or he let me vent and express and cry my feelings and didn't judge me, like just stupid shit, like stupid, unproductive shit that's not really major. It's just normal relationship stuff or dating stuff. But you so embedded with the toxicity of the last situation that you can't see that this normal shit is just basic shit and that you think it's like the best shit ever. So of course they're the best shit ever. You're ignoring all the red flags that you have been shown because you're seeing them for what you think they could be versus what they actually are. And then months or years later, you realize that they ain't shit either. They just package their ain't shit and it's in a different package. And then what you do, you leave that situation and then you go meet somebody else doing this. Like your pattern is the same. They doing the shit, basic shit, and you're like, oh, it's this. Oh,
or you dismiss someone who does represent something better, but you attribute it to something that's not good, right? You know, you're like, oh, that's what that last guy did, or that's what the last person did, and then you know you're like, you feel like it's the same old, right? You know, like it's the same, you know. So it's definitely, you know, you definitely have to be cognizant of what each individual that you're dating or each individual that you're dealing with is putting you through, and what you're willing to accept, setting those expectations and those boundaries for yourself. Because if you don't set those boundaries for yourself, you're gonna feel like, you know,
or learn to take time out for yourself. Because I think that a lot of people are, and myself included, are, and it's crazy because I'm not that person that usually leaves the situation and jump right into another situation or entertain a situation. Not even jump into it, but entertain something else, like right or in the middle or towards the end of something. And when you do that, like I said, you get caught up in that, oh, they're doing something great, but they're doing normal basic shit they're supposed to be doing. And we get lost in that.
A lot of y'all just be wanting shit from people, from people who can't give it to y'all, and y'all overlook the person that sometimes be right in y'all face or give it to you times 10.
And that's and I just had that, and it's crazy. I just had that conversation with somebody the other day.
Hold on, because I'm about to. A lot of y'all do that because y'all know y'all can't match it deep down inside. When a nigga really, when y'all get what y'all looking for, and y'all realize y'all get nervous because a lot of y'all can't match it because, like you said, y'all didn't deal with the toxicity from the past relationship. Now, man, I hate that word because, you know what I mean, like a lot of y'all toxic too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
But even that, I feel like with what you're saying right there too, it's like I don't want to say that they can't match it or you can't match it. I think it's that you haven't healed or allowed yourself to heal from that situation. So it's not that you can't match it, it's that you're not ready to, you're not even in that mindset to be ready to deal with that. So you know that walking in, like I may see, like it's guys around me that I know that are good men, like they've been trying to talk to me for years. They like sweethearts, like beyond. And it's like, yo, why I can't like this person? But I know that the situation I'm in currently or the mindset I'm in right now, I can't be 100% where I need to be.
So guess what y'all do?
Rather than ruin that, I'm just gonna sit here by the wayside.
But sometimes what a lot of women do when they know, and I'm gonna use yours, when you say you're just not ready, when really deep down you're just not able to. That's what you're saying. You're just not able to at that point. You know what I mean? Whatever you've been through or whatever. So what a lot of women do with like I said before on the last show, the brain is always going to look for the easiest way out. Mm-hmm. That's how the brain works. So the easiest way out is comfortability. You know what I mean? You don't want to get uncomfortable and really deal with the trauma and deal with somebody who can help you with that trauma. So guess what? You're going to go right back into that trauma. You know what I mean? You're going to deal with a nigga who going to treat you the same way you just got treated.
Because you got comfortable with that.
He gonna come. He just brand new and shiny. You feel me? We all like brand new and shiny things. So when a brand new shiny comes, we all brand new and shiny, but he's just as damaged. You feel me? The engine ain't no good under the hood. You feel me? He a lemon. You feel me? He a lemon. You feel me? He just went to the car wash. You feel me? That's all. Yeah. They just cleaned the car.
And that's the thing.
Inside. You feel me? The transmission bad though.
You feel me? I'm gonna get
you. You feel me?
Yeah.
Everything. The Cadillac converter, you can hear it. You know what I mean?
You can hear it, right.
You feel me?
Yeah, but it's crazy because I just was having a conversation with one of my friends, and me and him were talking about the situation, and he said, and I was telling him, I said, people, after all the stuff that I've been through, people like different people have been reaching out to me trying to like, oh, I always liked you and blah blah blah, this and the third, and for me, it's like I can't. Like I gotta fix me because it's a pattern with me. It's a pattern. We're talking about this situation that I just went through, the past situation and the situation before. It's just like that's when you reflect on yourself. And I know it. Like it's one thing to know it. It's another thing to act on it. Because this ain't new to me. This is true to me. So I need to change the pattern. That's why I know it's me. And it's not that, and I can take accountability for what I've been doing and what I've been accepting, what I've been allowing, what I've been just overlooking. Like we talked about this on the past show, where you get to that point where you see that potential and you're stuck on that potential, but you're missing, or you're allowing yourself to cover your own eyes to see what the fuck is actually going on, or not, or ignoring every sign, all the red flags, the blue flags, the yellow flags, the white, all that. You're just ignoring all them shits. So at the point, like right now, it may be somebody that's came into my life at this particular moment, and that like could be for me, but right now, I gotta fix me. I'm broken. I gotta fix me. I can't bring, and that's for me. I feel like I shouldn't bring a broken person to a situation where somebody is like, whether they say, well, I can help you through it. I just feel like I can't give you that, because I may be so broken that I may do some dumb shit to you that's undeserving of you, because I'm blaming, I'm taking out whatever I had going on with this situation on you. I'd rather 100% go work on me, like therapy, all this shit, to figure out the root of my problem and get back to the confidence. Cause it breaks down, like when you're going through shit like that, your confidence, or like you're just not being comfortable with yourself is gone. I got to be comfortable with being. It was a time I was single for years and didn't give a fuck about nobody. I was good. Like, I don't know, I'm good. I don't even want to talk to nobody. That's how good I was. I want to get back to that.
No, I feel,
until I get back to that, I really
there.
can't offer nobody nothing right now.
I mean,
I'm going to offer you a broken person.
Like, yeah, I feel like people do need to recognize when they're hurt or when they're broken, and they really don't need to take that into another relationship and continue that broken cycle.
But people do that, and that's the part of the problem.
Because they're trying to fix themselves through,
or have that person fix them
through codependent love, through sex, through self-destruction, all that kind of thing. They're trying their best to band-aid themselves by covering up their hurt and their pain with somebody else. You got to fix your. Thank you, Carly.
Yep, right. You're right.
You got to fix yourself. You gotta seek your own healing. You got to be able to realize when you are the root of your own issues, and that it's not just everybody else. It may be them adding to the fuel, adding the fuel to the flame, but you're the fire that's already going. So you have to, burn or tear that down, get yourself together, love yourself, like you said, be able to find love in yourself, for yourself. Find what makes you happy. That's one of my number one things.
Yeah.
It was something I had to learn when I got my divorce, was like, find what makes you happy. Because if you don't find what makes you happy, somebody else is not going to do it for you. And that relationship is not going to do it for you.
And that's what Will and Jada said. Will said, you can't. Nobody should be responsible for you to be happy but you.
Exactly. But you.
Stop being lazy. I mean, like,
stop being lazy.
Yeah, no, like for real. Like, I don't know if y'all ever heard of David Goggins. You feel me? If y'all don't, look him up. He been through a lot and he's motivational. You know what I mean? But I like him a lot because he don't sugarcoat shit. You feel me? You know what I mean? He ain't going, he don't want to hear you, complaining, woe is me. Like I was watching something earlier, and he was like, a dude asked him, he was like, why after I'm trying to commit to something to change my life, but like after 2 weeks, I just stopped. He said, he's like, I've been there, I done that. He said, it's real one simple solution. You lazy. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Yeah. When shit get hard, you go back and you run back to what you know, because you're scared and you're lazy to follow through. You know what I mean? So a lot of us, like you said, what's wrong with you. You have the knowledge. You know what I mean? So, wisdom is next. Wisdom is how you apply that knowledge. You feel me? There's two separate worlds. You feel me? Yeah. Knowledge and wisdom, they go together, but they two separate worlds. You can have knowledge, but if you don't apply that knowledge, you're not using that wisdom. You know what I mean? And discernment. So a lot of people are just too lazy to feel uncomfortable. You feel me? To really fix themselves, because like I said, we always look for the easy way out. We always look for excuses. You know what I mean? I'm too weak. Well, I done went through this. Well, man, fuck out of here. You know what the problem is. Fix it. You feel me? Fix it. If you don't fix it, that means you really, if you have a determined mind, if you really want to fix something, a definite purpose, like we talked about last week, Willie, when you have a definite purpose, you feel me? Ain't nothing going to stop you. So if your definite purpose is to be a better you, you know what I mean? How you going to love somebody if you can't love yourself properly? Right. Exactly. That's why I always told you, Sonny, the darkest place and the scariest place in the world is that mirror. People really scared to look in that mirror and be honest with themselves. And then once you become honest with yourself, then what? You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta look. We learn. We don't apply the lessons we learn. Or go ahead, Willie. My bad.
Oh no, you're fine. I was just gonna say also is not only fixing yourself, but also making any or taking any steps necessary to do that. Reading books, trying therapy, doing self-help, doing, so there's a lot of self-improvement and a lot of techniques out there that will help you, find what you need in order to better yourself or to fix the past hurt and pains that you've gone through, the what do you call it, not the torture, what do you call it, just the bad things you've gone through, I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but you know what I mean. So basically you have to, if you got to go to therapy, if you need professional help, traumas, thank you, all your past traumas, and facing those traumas, because a lot of times people run away from their past traumas, or they run away from the things that have shaped them, instead of recognizing those things. I was looking at something and they were talking about what would you want to change? Oh no, I'm talking about looking at something. We actually had this as a conversation, as a topic, or a question rather, in one of our social distance and chill shows. We talked about, what would you do? Would you take the wisdom that you have and go back and change your life with the wisdom that you have now? Or would you, want whatever, however it was, but take that stuff that you have in the present and go and move forward? And, talking about that and talking about the fact that, and I think Sonny was one of the ones during that conversation that mentioned it, that she felt like the things that she's gone through, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it shaped her, right? And I felt the same way. It's like things that you go through shape you. It makes you the person you are. It could be traumatic, it can be terrifying, it can be something that made you feel like you weren't going to come back from it. But it also shapes you into the person you are, and it may even give you the strength that you have. But knowing that you have to look back at that and say, what about those situations? What about those scenarios? What about that trauma that has shaped me? What was different about that, or what was important about that I need to take from, like I always tell people, I don't have regrets. I have learning lessons, life lessons. If it's something that I went through, I don't regret my last marriage. I don't regret breakups. I don't regret, failures that I've had. I look at them as learning lessons, like I was telling a friend of mine, I went through that. I went through that marriage and divorce so I could be a better husband for the next woman. I've learned a lot. I've taken even had conversations with my ex-wife to even understand more, so that I can take that information, I can apply that to my life, and then I can do better for the next one. And I think that a lot of times we have to do that for other situation scenarios in our life and say, what did I learn from getting fired from that job? Or what did I learn, like you were talking about, Clint, in terms of not being able to follow through, that starts at school, not following through, having a project and you do half the project, you're doing great, but you don't turn it in. Or you at work and they say, I need you to have these TPS reports by 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. And you do all the TPS report, but you don't turn it in at 3 p.m. You turn it in at 4. So they follow through, taking that extra step, and what did you learn from that? You know what I mean? To say, I learned that I need to take that extra step, or I learned that I need to do X, Y, and Z, or I need to be more focused. Maybe I'm taking too much time, playing on the phone, playing on Instagram instead of doing my work, to get something done.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, because I know a lot of I know a lot of people when they be going through a lot of stuff. You feel me? When it's a lot of trauma, a lot of things, they be like, I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for peace. You know what I mean? I guess they feel like everything's at war. So what do y'all think is the opposite of war? Y'all think peace is the opposite of war?
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like the opposite of war would be peace. I feel like it would be, but I'm sure you're asking a different kind of question here for you to bring it up.
So, Sonny, the opposite of,
I guess I could say, just thinking about it real quick. When you're not at war, you're more organized, you're more aware, you're conscious, of what's going on. Because I know if I'm at war with myself, or if I'm at war with my life situation, it's because it's in chaos.
You're getting there.
It has nothing to do with peace in general. It's more to do with organizing the chaos, getting things in order, lining them up, and understanding where things should be in my life.
Sonny, what you think?
So for me, I don't like. I wouldn't say it's war and peace. For me, it's more of a chaotic situation, and I need calm so I can process.
Okay.
So for me, it's more of a calm. So because when you do a lot, you don't really, or there's a lot of stuff happening, you don't really have time to process or think. It's everybody, because it's so much going on. Everybody has their opinions. They're giving it to you left and right on what you should do, how you should do it, how they would approach the situation, this, that, and third. And for me, from my personal experience, I need calm. Okay. I need calm and quiet, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to. Like I said, I don't process things initially. I'm a whole delay reaction. But for me, I need the calm to kind of hear my own thoughts.
All right, I'm gonna get back to that. Sense. I'm gonna get back to that. Dang, what you think? opposite of war.
When you're at war, that means you're fighting something.
When you at war is destruction.
Destruction.
Yeah. Right.
So war is destruction.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's destruction. It's battle. You feel me? You're tearing things down. So that's the trauma you're going through. So the opposite of war isn't peace or calm. The opposite of war is creation. You feel me? You have to create. You have to be creative. You have to, and a part of creating things, sometimes you have to put yourself in an uncomfortable position. This is something I had to learn. You feel me? Because I'm like you, Sonny. And that's why I'm glad you said that. When I'm going through all my stuff and all my trauma, I like to retreat to myself, center myself. This is what I'm thinking. Get at peace and then move forward. But what happens? I always encounter the same situation over and over again, because I'm looking for peace. I'm looking for calm. War, you know what I mean? It's destroying everything. So in order for me to get and build back up, I have to be creative. You feel me? You have to move into that creative, whatever that creative space may be. It may be this.
Something similar, this is like I said, during this process, I've had a lot of discussions, and someone told me I need to confront some of the things and some of the people that's causing the war, or without basically disturbing my peace. I need to confront, because part of my problem is not necessarily confronting the issues I have. Having people so say if I have an issue with you, you know that I'm upset. You've hurt me or bothered me to the point where I'm upset. And rather than you acknowledge what you did, you're just going to brush it off, and then the next day you're back talking to me as if nothing ever happened. And me allowing you to come back into my space knowing it's a war within me because I'm not necessarily being phony, but I'm being complacent and cordial because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. So it's a constant with me of you're bothering me, you're hurting me, but I'm not telling you that you're hurting me, or I'm telling you without necessarily being direct about it because I feel like you should know that if you're around me and my behavior change, something isn't right. But rather than you ask and rather than me say, I'm just going to pretend like you did. Oh, well, everything's normal. You're back around me. Nothing's a bother. So it's building up.
So what that is, confronting me won't fix that. You know why? Because you have to ask yourself, why did you suppress it in the first place? Why did you go along to get along? You know what I mean? That's the problem. You went along to get along. You feel me? You like you said, you was at war. So obviously inside of you wasn't happy. You feel me? But you allowed it to fester. You feel me? You allowed it to fester. You didn't create an environment for yourself to deal with that issue. And sometimes when you have to create, you have to cut things off. You have to sacrifice things. You know what I mean? A lot of us are scared to sacrifice and let people go. You know what I mean?
That's my big issue. That's a big issue for me.
When I talk about creating, you know what I mean? You have to create an environment for yourself. You know what I mean? A happy environment. Because if you're constantly at war, you have to realize, why are you at war? What are you at war with? You know what I mean? Why are you continuously at war? You know what I mean? With yourself or within yourself. You know what I mean? So sometimes you may have to change your environment. You feel me? Change what the things that bring you down. Find out your triggers. What triggers these things? You know what I mean? And another thing is, like when I say creation, what makes you happy? You know, your writing, your blogs. This is stuff that make you happy. So sometimes
I haven't even done that.
Yeah. So that's the place you have to go. You have to get creative sometimes. You have to use your creative brain sometimes to get yourself out the mud.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can't keep it, you know what I mean? Because peace is nothing. That's what people got to understand. When there's peace, there's no creativity going on. You feel me? When there's calm, you know what I mean? There's nothing happening. You feel me? How did the earth form? How did all these destruction, you know, war, creation, the earthquakes, you know what I mean? So now that's the earth creating itself. You know what I mean? It's at war, but at the same time, it's creating something. You have to do that, you know what I mean? What above is below. You know what I mean? Everything above is below. Macro, micro. You feel me? We ain't nothing but stardust. What happened to a star? After it implodes at some point, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We have to do that with ourselves.
It's energy. That's true.
Yeah.
You know
I'm a work in progress. That's why I said I need to be on somebody's couch immediately.
we all a work in progress.
Right. Definitely all in progress. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should call it a night on that one. On that note, right there. Definitely. You know, I was just going to end it with my advice of you know, continuing communication, continuing bringing your issues to the table. Don't be afraid. Don't avoid. Avoidance destroys relationships. Believe me. Right. I avoid too. I do too. I gotta admit it.
And everybody, that's the thing. Everybody always say I'm like the ball buster. I'm like I am when I need to be.
Right.
Well, not necessarily. I'm not when I need to be. When I'm at the point where I'm at pissed off, you're gonna get it. No doubt.
All right. Well, we'll continue this conversation on another show very soon, I'm sure. And you know, these conversations always come up. They always come up. But everybody, definitely appreciate people for joining us. Welcome again to all of our viewers on Twitch. We definitely appreciate you all coming out and showing us all this love. Check us out every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live. Definitely get our merchandise. Everybody's got some merchandise either on or on display. You can get t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, teespring.com/store/GST radio. It has a lot of the sayings that we say. I say what up, though, all the time.
I'm about to make me a shirt to say Nap Queen.
Clint's got the See You in 7 Days. So definitely
all skin folk and kin folk.
Tons of different shirts out there. So definitely check it out. Oh, masks. We got fanny packs, all kinds of merchandise. So definitely check that out. If you didn't get a chance to watch the entire show, or you want to see some of our past shows, you can listen to the audio free on demand 24/7. Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Blog Talk Radio. Or you can watch video replays now on Twitch TV, Facebook, and on YouTube. So definitely check us out. We got tons of content. We have over 220 different episodes, over 300 hours of content out there for you to listen and watch. Definitely get at us at our social media sites, GFT_radio on Twitter and Instagram, GFT Radio on Twitch and on Facebook. Sunny?
What? Oh, of course. You guys can reach me at I am Sunny _D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. I revived my TikTok. I took off, but I'm back on there. And my blog, which I need to be updating very, very soon, unreservedlyme.com.
Y'all already know. Y'all can get me at Trenton Grooming on Twitter, or visit me at my blog site, which I gotta do more on at akingstruth.com. Outside of that, you feel me? See y'all in 7 days.
For sure. Well, y'all know who I am. I'm too low on the screen. It's your boy Willie Styles. Get at me at Willie Styles everywhere. I'm on IG. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm actually on Twitch as Willie Styles 94 as well. So definitely get at me. I will be doing some stuff over there very soon. Willie.Styles on Snapchat, or visit me at stylesradio.com. That's where you hear all the hot tracks that I'm listening to, or get at me at williestyles.info for all my links, or check out my new link in my bio. So over on Instagram, if you click on the link in my bio, you will see a whole list of links there. Definitely do the same thing at GFT_radio on IG. We have a new link in bio link over there. It has our latest episodes. It has links to all of our social media and webpage over there as well. So definitely get at us over there. And you know how we always do. Definitely catch y'all very, very soon. Thank you.
Big hair, don't care.
Carly, that's my cousin. Love you so much, cousin. Always
thank you for
make sure y'all follow Rockstar Carly on Twitch. Rockstar Carly is an amazing Twitch streamer. She's killing them over on COD. Well, she was this afternoon or this evening. She'll be back on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So shameless plug for my cousin Rockstar Carly over there. And love you too. And then
salute.
for sure. And as always, we will see y'all next Monday, 10 p.m. Get at us.
See y'all in 7 days.
Bye, guys.
Holla.
Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D, 1/3 of the podcast GFT Radio Show.
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles from the GFT Radio Show. Just letting you know you can catch us every Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
And to get some merch, I got some on right now. Go to teesprings.com/stores/GFT Radio.
Grown Folk Talk Radio. Join the conversation. Let's have some